Hello, welcome to Onveri from Teaching Tactics with Mr. Iman. In this video, we're going to talk about a very important educational framework, Bloom's Taxonomy. So don't go away, we're going to continue after the intro. Welcome back. Bloom's Taxonomy, as you can see here, Bloom's Taxonomy is divided into 6 different categories or 6 different levels from the bottom to the top. We have in the very bottom, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and on the very top we have create. And by the way, the first 3 levels are what we call lower order thinking skills, because the cognitive skills and the learning objectives related to these 3 bottom levels are somehow basic and easy. On the other hand, the 3 top levels, analyze, evaluate, and create, are what we call higher order thinking skills, because the cognitive skills and learning objectives related to these 3 levels are somehow more complicated and complex. A background about the taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is an educational framework developed by Benjamin Bloom and his collaborators in 1956. It is a tool for categorizing educational goals and objectives that has been widely used by K-12 teachers and college instructors. So, Bloom's taxonomy can be used by educators and teachers to help them set some educational goals and learning objectives, and also it can help teachers to evaluate and assess the development and the cognitive skills of their students according to some different levels. And the cognitive skills that are related to every single level of these get more complicated as we move from the bottom to the top. And we're gonna discuss every single one of these in details later. So here also it says that the taxonomy is structured into 6 major categories, as you can see here, which represent different levels of cognitive skills and learning objectives. As we discussed before, every one of these 6 levels has or represents some cognitive skills, and the cognitive skills get more complicated as we move from the bottom to the top. In this slide, we're going to discuss the lower order thinking skills, and these are the first 3 levels from the bottom. The first level, knowledge or remember, and the cognitive skills that are related to this level are recalling facts, terms, basic concepts, definitions, some formulas only to recall some characters in a story, for example. Next level, we have comprehension or understand. Cognitive skills are understanding information, grasping meaning, translating knowledge into new context. The third level in lower order thinking skills or lots is application or apply, and the cognitive skills related to this level are using information, methods, concepts, theories in new situations, solving problems using required skills or knowledge, and these are lower order thinking skills. Now we're gonna move to the top 3 levels or higher order thinking skills, HOTS. We have analysis or analyze. The cognitive skills related to this level are breaking down information into component parts, understanding its organizational structure, and recognizing hidden meanings. And then we have evaluation or evaluate, and it has some cognitive skills like making judgments based on criteria and standards, evaluating ideas or products. Then synthesis or create, which is the top level and the most complicated level on the very top of the taxonomy, and it is related to building a structure or pattern from diverse elements, putting parts together to form a whole, and these are higher order thinking skills. Now we're going to talk about some verbs to assess each category or each level. For example, remember, which is the first level in the bottom, we can use verbs like list, define, and identify to assess the cognitive skills related to the first level in the bottom. The second level, understand, we can use verbs like describe, summarize, and explain to assess this level. The third level, apply, we can use verbs like solve, practice, and interpret to assess this level. Next level, we have analyze, we can use verbs like compare, organize, and infer. After that, we have evaluate. We can use verbs like judge, defend, and argue. And the top level, which is create, we can use verbs like develop, design, and construct to assess this level. And these are some verbs, but we can use many different other verbs to assess these levels. Now, my friends, we have an example of how to apply all 6 stages of Bloom's taxonomy in the study of a novel in a literature class. But if you are a math teacher, a science teacher, social studies teacher, you can apply this Bloom's taxonomy according to what you have at hand. But now we're going to talk about how to apply Bloom's taxonomy in a literature class when we are dealing with a novel, for example. Here we have the different levels, but here we reverse the order because we must start from the bottom, because the bottom levels, as we said before, are related to some basic and some easy cognitive skills. So we're gonna start from the bottom to the top here. So here we have the category or the level, and then we have the learning objectives or the cognitive skills. The first level, remembering or knowledge, it asks students to list the main characters in a novel and describe the setting. So in this level, remembering or recalling, all the cognitive skills are related to remembering and recalling some characters or some events from the story or the setting, which is the place at the time of the story only, to recall information. So you can see that it is very basic cognitive skills. Okay, and after that we're gonna move to understanding or comprehension, and we can have students explain the plot of the novel in their own words or discuss the motivations of characters. As you can see here, the learning objectives or the cognitive skills get more complicated as we move from the bottom to the top. Apply, which is the third level or application, we can encourage students to relate the theme or the lesson we can get from the story or conflict from the novel to a real-world situation or to their experiences in life. So they can relate or apply what they have studied in the novel to the real life. Okay, and these 3 levels are lower order thinking skills. Now we're going to move to the higher order thinking skills, and we have analyze or analysis. Students could compare and contrast the novel with another work of literature and analyze the author's use of symbolism and metaphor. So now it is getting harder, or the cognitive skills are getting more complicated. Evaluation or evaluating, we have students might critique the author's writing style or debate the moral implications of the character's action. Now we can just evaluate and judge the work at hand, or the novel in this case. And we have creating or synthesis, which is the top level and the most complicated level because it is related to some higher order thinking skills. Okay, students could write an alternative ending to the novel or create a visual or dramatic representation of a key scene in a novel. So as you can see here, the cognitive skills are different from one level to another, and they get more complicated as we move from the bottom to the top. Remember, the goal is not to move through these stages in order, but to ensure students are capable of thinking at each level as required by the task or concept at hand. So, as a teacher, you're not required to move through these levels in order or one by one. All what matters is that to make sure that whenever you discuss any of these levels, your students can just understand or get the cognitive skills related to every single level in Bloom's taxonomy. Remember, this is super important. The ultimate goal of education is to guide students in developing and applying higher order thinking skills to achieve deep understanding and generate new ideas. The most important thing is to help students think critically and apply the higher order thinking skills, and these are the cognitive skills related to the top 3 levels in Bloom's taxonomy. Finally, These categories are meant to move from basic levels in the bottom of learning to more complex and abstract levels in the very top. Also, we must mention that in 2001, a revised version of Bloom's taxonomy was published, and this is that new version we discussed in this video, which updated the categories to be more dynamic. Thanks for watching. Gamal Hassan. Don't forget to follow and like